Thank you very much. Good evening, the SAMSA board chairperson, SAMSA board and acting CEO. Very nice, and all the other participants in this getting late now meeting, but it's great to be together here. Just a short background. SAMINA, the South African Institute of Naval Architects and Marine Engineers. Really, we're looking after the marine engineering, naval architecture, ocean engineering, shipbuilding and ship repairing professionals, and really our mandate is to promote the interests of our members and the maintenance of high standards in the industry. Really looking to enable people to develop further development, the marine and allied practices. We also want to encourage publishing and disseminating of information on the maritime technical industry, cooperating with education establishments, furthering education within the ambit of our institute, and making comments on subjects as come up as a go, which this is one of the forums for that. The two main regulatory bodies that we interact with really is SAMSA, who's organized this event today, and then also the Engineering Council of South Africa, EXA, where SAMINA is one of the continuing professional development license bodies for the registration of CPD points and activities. Through the years, we've also opened up our scope of our membership to include all the maritime related disciplines which initially were left out, like electrical, electronics, and other of the related engineering disciplines. The last year, as everybody has lamented on, was very disruptive, with no live meetings. We unfortunately were forced to cancel our AGM in March last year due to the COVID. We had very slow growth of membership during the last year, which is understandable. And unfortunately, we had to cancel one of our prime courses, which is the Mentoring in a Maritime Environment, which we were holding in Durban, which was a great pity. That was a follow-up on a very successful course we presented at the end of 2019 in Cape Town. Also part of that course was actually training our members and other members with the EXA course of training for assessors. Also, during the last year, we took the decision to support those who are especially vulnerable during this COVID restrictions, and we managed to give the fair size donation to various organizations who could help people during this time. We hope that made a difference. The strategic focus that we're really looking forward to in 2021 and thereafter is the development of mentoring by our senior members for students and our younger members in both the STCW fields and the professional engineering areas. We will continue with our inputs in the education areas for engineering at the various universities as far as we can, primarily through their respective advisory boards that they hold. We also look forward to providing enhanced support to EXA for the registration and accreditation of marine maritime engineering professionals, including ongoing support for CPD courses and training. And also hopefully to get EXA to recognize maritime engineering as a discipline of its own within South Africa, which I believe will help greatly with the Ops Pakiso initiatives if we can align these two fields. Also, we need to look forward to growing student and junior members to join SAMINA and become active participants in the field. The key challenges, I think, as many voluntary organizations suffer from the same thing, is getting students and junior members involved and getting them to accept a role in activities and leading in the organization. We find there is a reluctance of members to take up leadership and directing roles in the affairs of the Institute. And I think most voluntary organizations end up relying on a very small pool of people to make the affairs carry on. We also really big challenge is also getting a greater understanding of maritime engineering with EXA and getting experienced SAMINA members to take an active role in these areas. The key initiatives that we'll probably follow in this coming year, if we can, is the repeat of this mentoring in a maritime environment, which we believe is very important to grow the industry. We're also looking to further develop our relationships with international bodies such as the Royal Institute of Naval Architects and the Institute of Marine Engineers, IMRS. And we also hope, and I was glad to hear it mentioned earlier, to make some further progress in creating postgraduate courses for marine engineering and naval architecture to be presented in South Africa. As the current availability of academically qualified and experienced people in these fields remains a critical problem in many institutions in South Africa, and I believe is hindering the growth and development of our maritime industry. Undergraduate qualifications are available, but there's nothing in the more advanced fields, and this goes hand in hand with stimulating maritime engineering research and studies within South Africa, which will enhance our whole industry. Further, we also look forward to finding more common ground between STCW qualified engineers and EXA registered engineers of all grades to enable a better transition of the experienced seagoing engineers to the manufacturing, repair, and essentially, and especially the education fields. As was mentioned earlier, there is a big gap in getting these people into these fields. There is a large overlap between two ministries, really, Department of Transport, which we're talking about today, and then the Department of Public Works, the built environment, which is the regulated marine engineering fields. The active participation in events like this really enables us to exchange opinions and experiences, and we hope we can enhance the status and professionalism of the maritime sector in South Africa. And I think many of the activities we're aligning and looking for really do strongly align with what SAMSA is looking forward to and the whole maritime sector. So we look forward to a lot of cooperation through the year ahead and growth to carry on. Thank you very much for organizing this event.